If you are dealing with a pathological narcissist, then know that pathological narcissism is learned behavior. So if you spot a pathological narcissist, then all you have to do is look at their caregivers to truly understand where their behavior or where their disorder has come from. You see, narcissists are essentially created in two ways. And number one is spoiling or overindulging and underindulging, which is a type of neglect or a type of abuse. So spoiled children end up rotten. So they end up rotten adults. All right, because spoiling breeds entitlement. Spoiling breeds egomania. So you're dealing with an egomaniac. So number one is spoiled children end up rotten. So again, they're spoiled, they end up rotten. And the second way that you can create a pathological narcissist is to spare the rod and spoil the child. And sparing the rod here means not giving that child discipline. So spare the rod, spoil the child. And you have a spoiled child again, they become a spoiled adult. So a lot of narcissists come out of households where they weren't taught proper boundaries. They came out of abusive households, alcoholic households. They had dysfunctional caregivers, so they became dysfunctional themselves. So know that narcissism is learned behavior. They learned it from their environment, the people that raised them. So the apple did not fall very far from the tree if you're dealing with a pathological narcissist. So understand that if you are dealing with a pathological narcissist, then the abandonment trauma, the neglect, the abuse, the torture, whatever they went through, it broke them. It broke them and they dissociated. And oftentimes when I talk about dissociation, someone will say, oh, well, I dissociated too. But again, that is you projecting. That is you projecting that the dissociation that you went through is at the same level that the pathological narcissist went through. And that is not true. And this is why I say it often on the channel that do not project your consciousness onto a pathological narcissist because they don't think like you. They don't. They think like themselves. And psychological projection essentially is that you think that they think what you think. And that is the furthest from the truth. Because people, think about this. If pathological narcissists were truly thinking, if they had the ability to think, and thinking is an ability, it is a skill. If pathological narcissists were thinking, why are they going around in circles? Because they go around in circles. You'll have circular conversations with narcissists. Things won't get resolved. Narcissistic abuse is a cycle. Why are they going around in circles? Why can't they break out of this cycle? Every single day, a pathological narcissist wakes up, they're in shame. At best, they get to pride. Pride comes right before the fall. They fall right back down to shame. They run from their shame. They get to pride. Pride comes right before the fall. They fall right back down to shame. They run from their shame. They get to pride. Pride comes right before the fall. They fall right back down to shame to go through another shame, pride cycle. Stuck in their lower ego development. Stuck in the third dimension. Pathological narcissists are going around in circles because they are not thinking. And Einstein said it best. If you see someone doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting different results, that is insanity. The insane go around in circles. And it very well may be hard for you to truly understand that you are dealing with someone that is a lunatic because they have some functional abilities, because they are functional lunatics. Not every lunatic is going to be like the ones that you see on TV wrapped up in a straitjacket. Pathological narcissists are functional lunatics. So maybe the person that you see, so maybe the pathological narcissist that you're dealing with, they can dress themselves, right? They can put on clothes, they can brush their teeth, they can take a shower, they can drive a car. But that does not negate that they have mental issues because they're going around in circles. They cannot regulate their own emotions. They're based in shame, incapable of letting go of their pride. Pride comes right before the fall. They fall right back down to shame. A pathological narcissist does not have access to courage, to love, to empathy, to joy, because they're stuck in the third dimension. Pathological narcissists, people have arrested development. They are missing elements. And this is why oftentimes on the channel I compare them to unripened fruits. And where do you get unripened fruits from? But plants that did not get enough nurturing. That plant did not get enough water, sunlight, or whatever nutrients that plant needed. And all plants are different. So that plant did not get what it needed, so it developed fruit. And the fruit developed to the fullest state, but it developed unripened. And this is why you don't like unripened fruits. You bite into them and they taste off because they're missing elements. And similarly, pathological narcissists are missing elements. The lights are on, but nobody's really home, you see. Pathological narcissism is regressive. They are regressing right now. And they will regress until they physically pass away, because it is a type of psycho-spiritual arrested development. So know that while you may have dissociated, pathological narcissists today are still dissociating, you see. While you dissociated, you came back. Today, pathological narcissists are drifting deeper and deeper and deeper into the sunken place, into the upside down. Because when they checked out, they did not check back in. What walked in were those malevolent spirits, those demonic entities that you are now dealing with today. Pathological narcissists are dissociating right now. It is a dissociative disorder. They're dissociating right now. And they continue to dissociate from their spirit and identify with their ego. That's the disorder. That's the disorder. You're dealing with an egomaniac. Today, they have identified with their ego. They have identified with their mind. You are not the mind. Pathological narcissists believe they are the mind. They believe they are the ego. And if you find someone that believes they are their mind, that is a mentally ill person. Now, that sentence doesn't make any sense. That's why narcissists don't make any sense. They cannot self-reflect because they don't have a self. What they have is a false self. An ego cannot self-reflect. If someone cannot self-reflect, they cannot grow. That's why it is a regressive disorder. It is a psycho-spiritual regression. They are regressing right now. They are getting worse right now. And this is why oftentimes on the channel you hear me state that pathological narcissists age like milk. They don't age like wine. They don't get better with time. They're dealing with a liability. And they will drag you down when they are going down. Because misery loves company. And they need someone to abuse. That is a need, not a want. Pathological narcissists need someone to abuse. And if they can't abuse you, well, they'll go abuse someone else. That is the behavior that you get from someone that is stuck in victim abuser consciousness. That is stuck in their lower ego development. That is stuck in the third dimension. What you will get is destruction. Because they're stuck in a destructive state. They're stuck in an arrested development state. And oftentimes on the channel, I share with you a wonderful quote from healer, author, and shaman, Dr. Malidoma Patrice May, where he states, if you keep a person in an adolescent state, they will act militaristically. What is an adolescent state but an underdeveloped state? An unripened state. They will act militaristically, because you will see where oftentimes you're dealing with very volatile and violent people, because that is the state that they are stuck in. And you can tell where pathological narcissists, or when pathological narcissists start to dissociate. Well, look at the age that they behave. They throw tantrums. And this is why I say that they're stuck in their terrible twos to about 12 years old. Because, people, you cannot find me a pathological narcissist that acts like a healthy teenager, like a healthy 13-year-old, 14-year-old, a healthy middle schooler, a healthy high schooler. And that is how you know that whatever happened to them happened in their childhood years, somewhere between their terrible twos to 12 years old. And they started to dissociate from their spirit, and the ego crept in. And each year, the ego grew bigger and bigger and bigger, and their spirits shriveled up. The true self shriveled up. That's the disorder. Every single day, a pathological narcissist, they wake up, they're in shame, a state of pathological self-loathing. They lost their light. So know that today you are dealing with a dark soul. And if darkness is on the inside, then you will eventually see darkness on the outside. Because if you squeeze an orange, you'll get orange juice. If you squeeze a grape, you will get grape juice. And if you squeeze a pathological narcissist, what you're going to get is abuse, drama, lies, chaos, and connivery. Because that is what they have to give. That is what you get from someone that is stuck in an adolescent state. They will act militaristically because that is what they have to give. What is inside will eventually come outside. So know how to discern the spirit of the individual that you are dealing with, because we are spiritual beings having a physical experience. We are spirit or source. We are light. We are light workers. We are stars. We are star seeds. We are the observer. We are the captain of the ship, and we have tools to use. And these tools are our mind power, our willpower, and our emotions. And all of this is encapsulated in a physical body because we are multi-dimensional beings. However, understand that if you are dealing with a pathological narcissist, understand that if you are dealing with people that are stuck in this unconscious state, number one, they abandoned their spirit. And number two, understand that you are dealing with dark souls. You are dealing with lost souls. They have a personality disorder. So they're messed up in the level of the mind, the will, and the emotions. That is what you're dealing with. That's the disorder. So again, people, do not project your consciousness onto a pathological narcissist. They don't think like you. If you thought like a narcissist, you would behave like them. If the narcissist thought like you, then they'd behave like you. And they don't. Because they have a pathological personality disorder. And a pathology is the study of diseases. It is the study of disorders. It's not healthy. They're stuck in an abnormal state. And that is why they behave so strangely. That is why they behave so irrationally. That is why they behave insane, because they don't have access to rational thinking. You get rational thinking in the fourth dimension or higher. And this is why oftentimes on the channel, you hear me say that you need to get to higher ground. You need to get to the fourth dimension or higher and do the work to properly heal those wounds that caused the attachment to these malevolent spirits in the first place. And where you'll find malevolent spirits are in hell or purgatory. You'll find them in the 1D, the 2D, and the 3D, because that is where malevolent spirits live. Low vibrational spirits, evil spirits. And what is evil but the opposite of the living? Evil is live inverted. You cannot grow with a pathological narcissist. You're stuck in a destructive state. Find the courage to walk away and stay away from these pathological personality types.